I kissed my best friend's sister right in front of him, deeply savoring the peach flavor from his mouth. Seeing this, my best friend rushed forward, ready to fight me, but his sister pushed him away. She cupped my face and was about to continue. Just because some time ago, my best friend's sister secretly came to my house to take a shower, but I mistakenly thought she was a burglar. I was about to hit her with a stick. But when the door opened, it turned out to be a cute girl. Power and brother. It's me. I got into my dream university today. But I don't want to stay in the dorm. My brother is worried that it wouldn't be safe for me to live alone. So he gave me the key to your house. After hearing the girl's words, I roughly understood what was going on. My best friend entrusted me to take care of his sister. That's not really a big deal. Your hair. I noticed that her hair was still wet. I thought about telling her to dry it first. But when my gaze moved downward, I noticed her collarbone faintly visible. Probably because her white dress was a little see-through, and her wet hair made the fabric stick to her skin, so the outline of her underwear became somewhat clear. The hairdryer is in my room. You should go dry your hair first. After saying that, I went to sit on the sofa, watching the girl walk into my room. I patted my own face and reminded myself to act properly. That's my best friend's sister, after all. After Lin Xingsu went in, she immediately saw a pair of boxer shorts hanging there. Her pretty face turned red instantly. She quickly ran out in a hurry. Brother crazy. I can't find it. Can you help me get it? Lin Xingsu gripped her dress tightly, trying her best to look calm. I was a bit confused. The hairdryer was in a very obvious place. So I got up and went into my room to get it. The moment I stepped in, I froze. I forgot to put away my underwear. No wonder the little girl's face was so red. She must have seen everything. At that moment, I wished I could find a hole to crawl into. Awkwardly, I handed the hairdryer to Lin Xingsu. Thankfully, at that moment, a phone ringtone broke the awkward silence. My sister is at your place. Keep an eye on her for me. I was speechless at how unreliable my friend was. Seriously, what were you thinking? Sending your own sister to live with a young, energetic man like me? Haha, isn't our brother Fang not interested in women? Besides, if you really want to be my brother-in-law, I wouldn't mind. And anyway, if you seriously want to marry my sister, I won't stop you. Hearing his shameless words, I decided to play along. Don't worry, I'm not interested in women. You're the only one in my heart. But just as I said that, Lin Xingsu, standing at the door, heard everything loud and clear. She had just finished drying her hair and walked out, only to hear Fang Ran chatting with her brother. The most important part, Fang Ran wasn't interested in women. Her eyes turned red. Tears started falling one after another. All she wanted now was to hide under the covers, to mourn her unspoken crush, a love that ended before it even began. Meanwhile, her brother was rambling on the phone, saying that his sister had come to Beijing because of some guy, a specific guy. Hearing this, I suddenly felt annoyed. I casually brushed him off and hung up. Lying on my bed, I turned over, feeling an odd sense of frustration. Why was I even thinking about this? But then I recalled, when Lin Xingsu walked out of the bathroom earlier, she looked unbelievably tempting. Not to mention, she was a dancer with a perfect figure. Slim waist, long legs. Forget it. She already had someone she liked. And besides, did I really want to call Lin Fan my brother-in-law? I got up, planning to take her out to buy some daily necessities. After all, she was my best friend's sister. I had to take care of her properly. So, I opened the door to Lin Xingsu's room, only to see her curled up under the blanket, shrinking into a small bundle. Lin Xingsu heard the sound. She slowly peeked out from under the blanket. Her small face looked pitiful. Tears were still hanging on the corners of her eyes. I bent down and gently ruffled her hair, trying to comfort her. Don't cry. Your brother said he'll come visit in a few days. He knows you're homesick. Come on, let's go out for a walk and clear your mind. Lin Xingsu obediently nodded. She kept telling herself, Brother Fang Ran must only care for me because he likes my brother. Love me, love my kin. That must be why he takes care of me so much. Who my brother loves, that's his choice. If our parents don't approve of their relationship, I won't help them convince them. Lin Xingsu almost teared up at her own thoughts. How could she be so understanding? After heading out, we got into the car. I glanced at Lin Xingsu, who seemed lost in thought. Reaching out, I intended to help her fasten her seatbelt, but just as I leaned in, she turned her head at the same time. Accidentally, our faces bumped into each other. Startled, I quickly pulled back. Lin Xingsu studied my expression. Sure enough, he looked uneasy. Brother Fang Ran really must like men. And now, he even had physical contact with me. Could it be that he's disgusted? So, she pulled out a tissue and handed it to me, hinting that I should wipe my face. I looked at her in confusion. What was this for? Why was she offering me a tissue? Did I have saliva on my face? I wiped my mouth, but there was nothing there. Lin Xingsu watched my actions, then silently fastened her own seatbelt. Brother Fang Ran really must despise me. He can't stand being close to a girl. Otherwise, why wouldn't he even use my tissue? He would rather rub his face with his own hands. The more she thought about it, the worse she felt. I looked at her pitiful expression and felt at a complete loss for words. This poor girl had just arrived in a new place. The first thing that happened was me walking in on her shower, and now, I had accidentally kissed her. Who would be able to accept this? I should buy him more food and clothes later. As compensation, the two of us arrived at the supermarket. I pushed the shopping cart, taking Lin Xingsu to the daily necessities and temporary goods section. Before long, the shopping cart was completely full. The girl playfully said, "Brother, I want to buy lots of ice cream to fill up the fridge." I fondly ruffled her hair. "We can just order it online when we get home." I glanced at Lin Xingsu beside me. From the side, her face looked very delicate. A small nose, big eyes. Her skin was so smooth it seemed like water would seep out if pinched. Looking further down, her collarbones were also beautiful. "Brother, is there something on my face?" Lin Xingsu looked up. She saw me staring at her without blinking. Nothing. Caught in the act, I awkwardly smiled. Lin Xingsu looked puzzled. Why is brother staring at me like that? Is it because we look alike? But that doesn't make sense. I don't look like brother at all. It must be because of our blood relation. Seeing me must remind brother of himself. Yeah, that must be it. Brother will come see me in a few days. Though, it might not necessarily be to see me. Maybe brother is also looking forward to seeing Fang Ran. When brother comes, I'll go stay elsewhere for 2 days. That way, I won't be in their way. Otherwise, if I'm home, they might feel uncomfortable. I really don't know what you're thinking. Let's go eat first. What do you want to eat? Lin Xingsu smacked her lips and said, "Brother, I want hot pot. But the weather is so hot. Then let's buy ingredients and soup base and eat at home." I told Lin Xingsu to wait in the car. I went to buy the ingredients. Then I stopped by a nearby milk tea shop. After returning to the car, I handed Lin Xingsu the milk tea. As I drove, I caught a glimpse of her happy expression. Is it really that good? Look how happy you are. Lin Xingsu instinctively handed her cup over. Here, try it. I quickly lowered my head and took a sip. It's really sweet. Lin Xingsu saw me drinking from the cup she had already sipped from. Her heart felt a little sweet. She hugged the cup in her arms and took another big sip. Sure enough, the milk tea tasted sweeter after Fang Ran drank from it. I must fix Fang Ran. I tidied up the things. Then, Lin Xingsu and I returned home together. Lin Xingsu wore a spaghetti strap top and a mini skirt. She stood in front of the mirror, giving herself a silent pep talk. Didn't they say guys like long legs? Then she walked out of the room. I saw the girl's straight and slender legs, and her incredibly slim waist. I didn't say a word. I went straight to my room. afraid that if I kept looking, I wouldn't be able to control myself. Thinking to myself, this girl, she looks good in anything. When I walked out of my room again, I saw the girl kneeling on the floor. She was reaching into the cabinet for something. Her shorts were already quite short, and in that position, her thighs were even more exposed. On top of that, she was slightly turned to the side. Her right shoulder strap had unknowingly slipped off, loosely hanging on her arm. Because of that, the contours below her collarbone were faintly visible. Lin Qingsu finished arranging the items. She turned around and saw me standing at the doorway, and my nose was starting to bleed. Brother Feng ran. Your nose is bleeding. Lin Qingsu quickly grabbed a few tissues and handed them to me. I'm fine, Zhao. I can do it myself. Go finish tidying up. Hearing me call her that, Lin Qingsu obediently nodded. Meanwhile, I was silently thinking, am I really getting old? I used to think I was calm and composed. Why do I suddenly feel like a beast today? I guess it's over for me. I used to think Lin Qingsu had someone she liked. Now, I just want to win her over, make her my girlfriend. Otherwise, seeing this little fairy wandering in front of me every day, who could possibly resist? It was time for dinner. I decided to find out more about the guy she likes. Zhao, that guy you like. Is he your high school classmate? What high school classmate? I don't like any high school classmate. I felt a surge of excitement. So it turns out, Lin Qingsu doesn't secretly like any high school boy. That means I still have a big chance. Why are you suddenly asking that? Brother Feng ran? Lin Qingsu wondered where I even got that idea. She never had a high school boyfriend. She had only ever liked one person. Thinking about it, her face flushed red. Looking at the girl in front of me, I suddenly felt my heart take a heavy hit. How could someone be this adorable? I wanted to hide her away. I wanted to make her cry. I couldn't help but laugh. I reached out and ruffled her hair. Eat up? Lin Qingsu's heart pounded from the sudden touch. What do I do? What do I do? I still like Brother Feng Ran so much. That night, I kept thinking about her slender waist, her long, straight legs. I tossed and turned until midnight before falling asleep. Meanwhile, Lin Qingsu had trouble sleeping, being under the same roof as me. Knowing I was just in the next room, her mind started wandering uncontrollably. By 2 a.m., she was still wide awake. And so, we spent a sleepless night. Today was the first day of military training. I woke up early to buy breakfast. And I woke up Lin Qingsu. Zhao, hurry and eat your breakfast. I'll take you to school later. Lin Qingsu quickly got herself ready. Zhao looked especially charming in her military training uniform. Brother, is the university military training strict? She asked curiously. Lin Qingsu took a bite of her small wonton. Her cheeks puffed up like a little hamster. It depends on your instructor, but they won't be too strict with the girls. Especially those in the dance department. Do dance students get special treatment? Not exactly special treatment. It's just that at the end of military training, the dance department will perform during the final report. Like cheerleading routines. So your training schedule will be different from the other squads. It'll be a bit easier, I patiently explained. That's great. My stamina isn't that good anyway. This makes me feel much less nervous, hearing my words. Lin Qingsu felt much more relieved. After breakfast, I dropped Zhao off at school. Goodbye, Brother Feng ran. Lin Qingsu waved her hand, then turned and walked into the campus. Suddenly, my phone rang. Feng ran. You little brat. Even Lin Fan has a girlfriend now. What about you? What have you been doing all day? I just don't get it. You look decent enough. So, why doesn't any girl like you? On the other end of the phone, a furious woman was scolding me nonstop. Seeing that I was silent, she got even angrier. If you don't start dating soon, I'm cutting off your credit card, and don't even think about coming home. After saying that, she hung up in a huff. She didn't even give me a chance to explain. Feeling helpless, I sent a voice message. Mom, I already like someone. I'll bring her home during winter break. After the morning military training, Lin Xingsu picked up her phone. She saw my message. Zhao, I got lunch for you and your friend. Come straight to the cafe to find me. Lin Xingsu felt a sweetness in her heart. It felt like having a caring boyfriend. Wow. Fang Ran is such a perfect man. How can he be so thoughtful? See, it's better to date an older guy. They have experience and know how to take care of you. Lin Yu was initially worried about the rush at the cafeteria. But now, the problem was solved. What are you talking about? He and I aren't like that. Besides, he's never even had a girlfriend before. Lin Yu squinted her eyes. She smirked mischievously. Let me tell you something. I observed this last time. Your brother Fang Ran's ring finger is longer than his index finger. You are going to have an amazing future with him. Lin Xingsu looked at her, completely confused. Lin Yu glanced at her dumbfounded expression. This girl is so innocent. Come closer, I'll explain. Lin Yu leaned in and whispered into Lin Xingsu's ear. She spoke a few words softly. Lin Xingsu's face instantly turned bright red. That's nonsense. You don't need to tell me things like that, Yuzi. It's not like I'll need to know. You don't need to know now. But maybe brother Fang Ran thinks you're still too young. He probably doesn't have the heart to make a move yet. But let me tell you something. You still need to learn a bit of theory. That way, you can keep him in the palm of your hand. Lin Yu got more excited as she talked. She showed no remorse for corrupting an innocent girl. Lin Xingsu's face was burning red. She wanted to cover Lin Yu's mouth. Instead, she quickened her pace toward the cafe. I was waiting at the cafe with 2 lunch boxes. With a single glance, I easily spotted Lin Xingsu. Among the crowd in green camouflage uniforms, she seemed to be playfully bickering with her friend. Maybe it was the heat. Or maybe they were talking about something amusing. Her face was slightly flushed. The breeze tousled her bangs. Even among the crowd, she still stood out, glowing white like a pearl. She was always the one who stood out in a crowd. I watched as she walked toward me. The leaves rustled as she passed by. The colorful flowers on the grass swayed gently. And my heart was pounding wildly. I didn't have much experience with love. This was the first time I had such an overwhelming desire to be close to a girl. When Lin Xingsu looked toward the cafe, she saw me already standing at the entrance. She quickened her pace and ran toward me. Just as she reached me, she tripped over a small stone on the pavement. I instinctively reached out to steady her. A faint, sweet fragrance from her body filled the air. For a moment, time seemed to stop. My body tensed up in an instant. My stomach tightened. Once again, I felt like a complete scoundrel. Like a beast, Lin Xingsu quickly stood up, casually brushing away her bangs that had been tousled by the wind. The sudden physical contact made her heart race uncontrollably. How's military training so far? It's not as exhausting as I thought. Honestly, it feels even easier than high school. Lin Xingsu chuckled. It's hot these days. Make sure you stay hydrated. If you ever feel unwell or have trouble, tell your instructor. Don't push yourself too hard. Got it. After saying that, I was surprised at myself. I never realized I could be so considerate. It felt like I was taking care of a daughter. Thinking that, I glanced at the girl beside me. With our height difference, she looked so small in my eyes. If I ever have a daughter in the future, she'd probably be just as cute and beautiful. Lin Yu, standing beside us, sighed dramatically. Can we eat now? I'm already full from all this lovey-dovey talk. I scratched my head, feeling a little embarrassed. I booked a hotel room. You two can't eat there. After eating, you can even take a nap. Lin Xingsu shyly nodded. Thank you, brother Fang Ran. After dropping them off at the hotel, I headed to the studio. Watching his back as he walked away, Lin Xingsu felt a little uneasy inside. Your brother Fang Ran is seriously a 1 in a million man. You better hold on to him tightly. But Zhao, you're so beautiful. Even as a girl, I'm tempted. I'm sure he can't resist you either. Lin Yu opened the lunchbox. Seeing the food, she began praising me again. Yuzi, stop teasing me. Brother Fang Ren already likes someone else. Lin Xingsu slowly opened her lunchbox. Every dish was something she liked. But that only made her more frustrated. Lin Yu froze for 3 seconds. Then she exploded. What? He has a girlfriend. Is he two-timing you? He has a girlfriend yet still keeps you around. And he even lets you live with him. How dare he? That scumbag. Watch me teach him a lesson. Lin Yu rolled up her sleeves, ready to get up. Don't worry, Zhao. Big Sis has your back. Wait. Lin Xingsu was startled by her reaction. She had felt down just a moment ago. But now she was completely speechless. He's not stringing me along. And he's not two-timing anyone. He likes my brother. Lin Xingsu pulled Lin Yu back to her seat. She hurried to explain. What? Lin Yu's mouth dropped open in shock. This world is way too crazy. A guy that handsome is actually... Wait a minute, are you saying? Fang Ran not only likes guys, but he's also with your brother? Lin Yu suddenly lost her appetite. This kind of dramatic gossip had completely piqued her curiosity. Yeah, I only found out a couple of days ago. Lin Xingsu rested her head on the table, looking a little down. But I still don't believe it about Fang Ran. Look at his ring finger, it's so long. Lin Xingsu glared at her. A silent warning to stop talking. Ring finger. How did you find out that he was one? I think it's a misunderstanding. There must be some kind of mistake. You thought about it again. My behavior definitely shows that I like Zhao. Otherwise, my eyes would be glued to him. Lin Xingsu recounted the events to Lin Yu. Lin Yu listened. Without hesitation, she flicked his silly little forehead. You little fool. How can you be so naive? That was just a joke, did you hear it? Come on, Zhao. Someone like you. Even if someone sold you, you'd still count the money for them. Of course, you're also quite pitiful. To think you've been misunderstood for so long. Lin Xingsu looked at him. And a glimmer of hope rose in her heart. If it's just a misunderstanding, then I can keep seducing. As long as my brother allows it. After finishing their meal, the two fell into a deep sleep. Before long, the alarm clock's ringing broke through the silence. Lin Yu got up and saw Lin Xingsu was still sleeping. A thought came to mind. Zhao, wake up. Your crazy brother is calling. Lin Xingsu gradually picked up the phone. My crazy brother. The girl's voice, just after waking up, carried a spoiled, soft tone. Listening to this beautiful voice, a rush of emotion surged in my heart. I wanted to pull her into my arms right away and bully her mercilessly. Lin Yu saw that her plan had worked. She gently took the phone away and ended the call. This kind of subtle teasing was the most alluring. As the phone was taken away, Lin Xingsu gradually woke up. I think I just had a dream. And I was on the phone with Fang Ranjie. Alright, stop thinking about your Fang Ranjie. Hurry up and get up, or you'll be late again. Meanwhile, on the other side, after the call was cut off, the girl's voice still echoed in my ears. I couldn't help but think of some rather colorful images. When that time really comes, the girl's voice will surely be as soft as before. I can't even concentrate on work. In the afternoon, I arrived at the cafeteria early. After a while, a cute girl popped out from the crowd. She hopped over and sat beside me. I pinched her chubby little cheeks and said indulgently, "Are you hungry?" Hurry up and eat. Lin Qingsu smiled and nodded, revealing her adorable dimples. I watched as she ate with great enthusiasm. A deep sense of satisfaction filled my heart. I really want to take her home. After Lin Qingsu finished all her food, she casually picked up a chilled cola beside her, pressed her lips against the bottle and took a sip. When she met my surprised gaze, she suddenly realized her action was unusual. Sorry, Fang Ranjij. I didn't notice. I'll buy you a new one. Her little face instantly turned bright red. Even though she was very shy, she couldn't help but think, does this count as an indirect kiss? I waved my hand and said casually, it's fine. If you like it, drink more. I don't mind. After dinner, we leisurely walked along the campus path. Zhao, there's still a while before military training. Do you want to get a room and rest for a bit? Lin Qingsu froze for a moment. Her little head unconsciously started imagining things, and she shyly lowered her head. But then she remembered. She had heard before that Fang Ranjij likes girls with a slim waist and long legs. Sexy girls who were completely different from her. All these years, among her friends, no one had ever complimented her for being sexy. I'm not going. I want to buy a sexy dress. After saying that, she realized what she had just blurted out and quickly covered her mouth, trying to brush it off. No, you're not allowed. I thought about when we were at home. Even when she wore a small tank top and shorts, she was already so alluring. If she buys more of those random little dresses, she'd be out of control. The guys in college are like wild tigers. A little bunny like Lin Qingsu wouldn't even know if she got tricked. My own little bunny. I can't just let others see her like that. Seeing that Lin Qingsu didn't respond, I threatened her fiercely. No revealing outfits, or else I'll tell your brother. Lin Qingsu obediently nodded. Got it. But in her heart, she thought, I just won't wear them outside. If I wear them at home, that should be fine, right? The girl secretly glanced at my hand, then gathered her courage and gently tugged at the corner of my shirt. She shyly said, Fang Ranjij ... There are a lot of people here. I'm afraid of getting lost. I looked around and saw that the crowd was indeed quite dense. So, I held onto her wrist. Her hand was soft and delicate. Her wrist was small and dainty. A bracelet would look beautiful on her. I decided to buy her one sometime. The two of us strolled through the streets, each carrying small expectations and nervousness in our hearts, silently walking side by side. Time seemed to pass especially fast at this moment. In the blink of an eye, it was time for military training. Fang Ranjij, it's about time. I have to go gather now. I gently patted her head. After training, wait for me at the entrance. I'll come pick you up. She nodded obediently, then disappeared into the crowd. Night fell. I waited alone in the car for Lin Qingsu. Suddenly, a phone call broke the silence. Ranjay, quick, look at this video of Zhao dancing. She's absolutely stunning. She's definitely going to win the campus beauty contest. I hung up the call and found the video. Though the quality wasn't very clear, I could immediately recognize that the girl was Lin Qingsu. I stared intently at the girl in the video. She looked completely different from usual. Even though I don't know much about dance, I could feel the unique charm radiating from her. Her allure, the girl I like, was truly exceptional, almost too much so. But with so many people watching her, I felt inexplicably irritated. I wished I could keep her hidden at home, so she could dance only for me. At that moment, Lin Qingsu approached with light, bouncy steps, hopping over cheerfully. I was so focused on watching her dance video that I didn't notice what was happening around me. Fang Ranjij, have you been waiting long? A crisp and melodious voice pulled me out of my thoughts. I hurriedly closed the video. looked up and met her bright, clear eyes, and couldn't help but recall her graceful dance, her slender waist swaying lightly, her long legs moving elegantly with the rhythm, her hair flowing with every motion, adding a hint of indescribable sensuality to her pure appearance. What a mesmerizing little enchantress. Not too long. Zhao was training tiring today. I struggled to suppress my thoughts. Keeping a calm expression, Lin Qingsu gently rubbed her tummy with a slightly helpless smile. It was fine, but I'm a little hungry. Then stay in the car. I'll go get you something to eat. I stood up, getting ready to buy her some snacks. Actually, I just didn't want anyone else to see her. The video had already spread quite a bit. Not only among the freshmen, even the senior students were asking about her. I needed to step up my game. Before long, I returned to the car with some snacks. Watching Lin Qingsu obediently eating her snacks, a strong wave of emotion surged through my heart. I just wanted to hold her tightly in my arms, kiss her cheek, and confess my love to her. Fang Ranjij, our instructor, was super nice today. I didn't even feel tired. Whenever Lin Qingsu sees me, she talks more. She shares even the smallest things with me. Like a stray kitten by the roadside, the beautiful blue sky and white clouds, a delicious milk tea, something fun that happened during training. I really enjoyed listening to her ramble on. Before, I used to think girls were troublesome, always expecting gifts and flowers on anniversaries, always needing to be pampered. But now, if that girl was Lin Qingsu, I felt like I would have endless patience. At home, Lin Qingsu and I sat side by side at the dining table, enjoying dinner. It smells so good, you're amazing. Fang Ranjij, her praise, gave me an unprecedented sense of achievement. Cooking for her felt like an absolute joy. Just like my parents. My mother had a bad temper, but my father was an excellent cook. Whenever they argued, my father would head to the kitchen and prepare a grand meal. And my mother, just to eat together, would stop being angry at him, but looking at the girl stuffing her cheeks. She was always so obedient and well-behaved. I always spoke softly to her. My heart was melting. She would never be as hot-tempered as my mother. Eat more. Classes officially start the day after tomorrow. After military training, there's the freshman ceremony. Are you planning to go on stage? Yeah, I want to give it a try. But I'm a little nervous. Fang Ranjij, do you think I can do it? Of course. My Zhao is the best. I blurted it out without hesitation. The girl's heart skipped a beat. At home, her parents always praised her too, saying, "Our daughter is the prettiest. Our daughter is the best." But when I said it, for some reason, my heart skipped a beat. Fang Ranjij, what kind of girls do you like? As soon as Lin Qingsu asked, she regretted it. What if the type of girl Fang Ranjij likes was completely different from her? She really liked Fang Ranjij. She was willing to sleep only 5 hours a day, to practice dancing tirelessly, to improve her academic scores. She was willing to come to a completely unfamiliar city alone, even though she had no life experience. I pondered for a moment, then looked at her seriously and said, I like girls like you. Obedient and adorable, optimistic and kind. Someone with her own principles and opinions. Someone who bravely chases after what she wants. Zhao, I feel like everything about you shines so brightly. As I said it, I surprised even myself. As a science major, I never thought I could say something so romantic. Lin Qingsu was stunned. She had imagined many possible answers, but she never expected this one. The boy just said he liked girls like her. So, does that mean? Was this a confession? Fang Ranjij. Do you like me? Was what you just said a confession to me? There was a long silence. Then Lin Xingsu softly asked again. I like you. Zhao, I mean it. Tears welled up in the girl's eyes. Years of silent admiration finally had an answer in just one sentence. Her voice trembled slightly, choked with emotion. Fang Ranjij, I like you too. I came to this university just for you, so I could be a little closer to you. I beg my brother to let me live here with you. After saying that, she burst into louder sobs, as if releasing all the years of longing and hardship, worries, excitement, and joy all poured out. The only thing I could do was pull her into my arms and say, "Don't cry. Zhao, it's my fault. I was too slow to realize. It's all my fault for making you wait so long." I gently wiped the tears from her face, then softly asked, "Can I kiss you?" Once Zhao gave me permission, I wrapped one arm around her waist and cupped her face with the other, then gently pressed my lips against hers. We didn't part until we were both out of breath. Looking at her flushed cheeks, I seriously said, "Zhao, this is my first time in a relationship too. This pace might feel fast for both of us, but I promise, my feelings are real. I will do my best to cherish our relationship. If I ever do something wrong, don't get mad at me secretly. Just tell me directly, okay?" Lin Xingsu listened to my words, then obediently nodded. "You're so good. There's no way you do anything wrong. But I do have one request. Now that we're together, you're not allowed to look at other girls. I'm very possessive. You can only hold my hand and only hug me. You can only buy food for me. In short, your heart can only belong to me." I chuckled and couldn't help but tease her. "What about your best friend Yuzi and Chung Kao's girlfriend, Nan? Does that mean I can't eat with them anymore?" "That's not what I meant. I'm not that petty. I just mean other girls who like you. You're not allowed to play with them. And you can't look at those pretty girls on your phone. You can only look at me." "Got it." As she spoke, Lin Xingsu boldly tugged at my cheek. I nodded in agreement. With such a beautiful and stunning girlfriend at home, who's also sweet and obedient, how could I possibly look at anyone else? Not to mention beautiful women, even certain novels and animations. I don't even want to watch them. I know, but Zhao, we should eat now. You haven't eaten much. The food will get cold soon. Your stomach will feel uncomfortable, even though I love this position. I know we can't continue like this. A girl's health is the most important thing. Besides, there will be many chances in the future. Lin Xingsu is obedient. She sits properly like a good girl, takes a sip of soup, and smiles foolishly at me. After finishing our meal, I told the girl to rest in the room while I cleaned up the dishes. Once the door was closed, Lin Xingsu couldn't help but roll around on the bed. Even her little feet wiggled uncontrollably. The day after I confirmed my relationship with my good brother's sister, after breakfast, Lin Xingsu and I lay on the sofa watching a movie. One of my hands wrapped around her slim waist. The other hand casually rested on her fair thighs. I could feel the smooth touch under my palm. My heart burned with heat. Lin Xingsu was completely engrossed in the movie. She would occasionally let out a soft laugh. As she laughed, her body slightly shifted. I could clearly see her beauty. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to calm down. "Why aren't you watching, big brother? Is it not interesting?" "It is. Can I kiss you?" Bai's words instantly made the girl blush. But she didn't shy away. Instead, she obediently placed her hands on mine, waiting sweetly for me to take action. I pulled her into my arms and kissed her deeply. I felt my head spinning as I woke up, feeling the change in my body. I frustratedly ran my fingers through my hair. Why couldn't I have woken up later? Recalling the scenes from my dream, I glanced at the blanket. I quickly got up and went to the bathroom for a cold shower. After taking a shower, I stripped off the bed sheets and duvet cover, tossing them into the washing machine. I stared blankly at the balcony. At that moment, a soft voice of a girl came through. Brother, you didn't go jogging today. Are you doing laundry? Just washing the bed sheets. The girl curiously walked closer. But didn't you just wash them 2 days ago? I accidentally spilled yogurt on them last night. So I'm washing them again. I tried to change the topic, not wanting her to keep questioning about the bed sheets. Zhao, you must be hungry. What do you want to eat? Brother, I want pan-fried dumplings. I want the ones you make. Is that okay? Looking into her big, watery eyes, I gently agreed, of course. My Zhao can have whatever she wants. I'll make it. Hearing this, Lin Xingsu happily went back to her room to freshen up. Soon, she hopped into the kitchen, curiously watching me cook. Seeing the neatly arranged dumplings in the pan, Lin Xingsu exclaimed in admiration. Brother, you're amazing. I've never cooked before. If you ever want to eat my cooking, I can learn from you. You're not allowed to dislike it. After saying that, she quietly hugged me from behind. Her soft face pressed tightly against my back, as if she was expressing her determination and expectations. I enjoyed this warmth between us. Being in love is meant to be clingy and sweet. As for cooking, as long as one person in the house knows how, that's enough. I'll do it. By the way, Zhao, should we tell your brother about us? I turned to look at her, still uncertain. Lin Xingsu softly said, I'm a little scared. We're progressing too fast. I'm afraid my brother will scold you. The girl thought for a moment. Before she came, her brother had repeatedly warned her. He told her not to date, not to get too close to any guys. Afraid she would be taken advantage of. If he found out, he might just make her move out tomorrow. To protect this sweet love of ours, we should wait to tell him later. I thought about it. If I had such a beautiful little sister, and my friend took her away, I'd probably want to beat that bastard up. It's better to keep it a secret for now. We both agreed. After finishing our meal, I asked, Zhao, let's go out today. Lin Xingsu thought for a moment. Let's go shopping. Brother Anren, I want to buy clothes for you. You've always spent money on me. I want to see you wear something I bought. My heart warmed at her words. I nodded, whatever you decide. I'll listen to you. Brother, wait a moment. I'll go change my clothes. After saying that, the girl turned and happily walked back to her room. About half an hour later, Lin Xingsu stepped out of the room. The sight before me left me stunned. A pure white dress perfectly outlined. Her delicate figure, her light makeup made her look even more adorable, paired with a carefully selected necklace. She was as beautiful as the most stunning person in the world. Seeing me remain silent, Lin Xingsu looked a little nervous. Brother, does it not look good? It looks great, really great. I love it. Hearing my compliment, the girl's face lit up with a soft smile. She gently reached out and held my hand. Let's go out then. As we stepped into the mall, we looked like the perfect couple. We immediately attracted many gazes, seeing the men around us staring at Lin Xingsu. A hint of jealousy arose in my heart. I blamed myself for not bringing a light jacket to cover her fair arms. Oh, the clothes in this store look nice. I looked up. It was a store specializing in couple outfits. Let's go in and take a look. How about this t-shirt? I pointed at 2 shirts with Doraemon prints. One pink, one blue. They looked incredibly cute. Lin Xingsu nodded. They're really cute. I've never seen you wear these kinds of colors before. Do you want to see me in them? Thinking about it, I realized that I don't really like buying brightly colored clothes. But since the girl already said it, I still had to fulfill her wish. We also picked out some shorts. Then we went into the fitting room. Almost at the same time, we walked out. Wow, Fang Ran, you look so handsome. I was a little shy after being complimented by the girl and lowered my head. We both really liked it. Alright, the total is 2,672. WeChat, Alipay, card payment, or cash, all are accepted. Alipay then. Lin Xingsu brought out the payment code. I looked at the salesperson's expression. I had a strange feeling in my heart, as if we had just tried on clothes. But the girl said she would pay and wouldn't allow me to refuse. If I tried to argue with her, she would get mad. What else could I do? It's my girlfriend. If I don't listen to her, what else can I do? What if she gets mad and moves out? Just thinking about it breaks my heart. The girl held my hand and swayed it back and forth. I could feel how happy she was. Why are you so happy about paying? That's not it. It's because I got to buy clothes for you. And we get to wear matching outfits together. That makes me happy. I'm a little hungry. Why don't we grab something to eat first? Sure. What do you feel like eating? I'll get something for my little zoo. I held the girl's hand as we walked downstairs. There were indeed a lot of snacks. That grilled cold noodles smell amazing. And I also want that stir-fried yogurt. And those ribs look really good too. The rolled bamboo shoots from that stall next door also look great. I looked at her, feeling helpless. I ended up buying everything she liked. Quick, try it. It's best when it's still hot. Looking at the grilled cold noodles the girl handed me, I lowered my head slightly and opened my mouth to enjoy being fed by her. Zhaozu, do you still want anything else? I noticed that she actually hadn't eaten much. Even though we bought a variety of things, they were all small portions. The portions were really tiny, and most of it ended up in her stomach. I'm full now. I'm not eating anymore. Lin Xingxi shook her head. But as she looked at the other snacks, I noticed her swallowing, and I saw it all. My gaze quickly made her back down in shock. I'm afraid if I eat too much, my belly will get round. And then this dress won't look good on me anymore. Silly. No matter if your belly is round or not, I still love you. Besides, I love watching you eat. It feels like raising a pig or a pet. I accidentally said what I was thinking out loud. HMPH. But this is our first date. I want to create only good memories. I'm not a pig. I'm not even that much of a big eater. Seeing her put her hands on her hips, tilting her little face up in defiance, she was just too cute. Zhaozu, in my heart, I love you no matter what. Good night, I said, as I reached out to pinch her puffed up little cheeks. I still want to try that clam vermicelli. Fang Ran, can you help me eat some? I really can't finish a whole serving. Seeing her being so well-behaved, I leaned down and kissed her lips. Her lips had a faint strawberry flavor, just as sweet as she was. After finishing the clam vermicelli, we also bought 2 cups of milk tea. Try this. Your Fang Ran brother. Looking at the mischievous girl, I smiled and handed her my milk tea. She was the one who said this cup wasn't good. But now that she saw me drinking it, she suddenly wanted to try it again. Lin Xingsu, little miss, I have reason to suspect you're just using my charm. Even though you are handsome. Right now, I choose milk tea. Lin Xingsu said righteously. Nothing can separate me from my milk tea. You just want to drink from my cup. You want an indirect kiss. I rubbed her little face, busted. I admit, I'm totally charmed by your looks. Now hurry up and give me a real kiss, Lin Xingsu said as she wrapped her arms around my neck. She gave me a kiss on the cheek. Why did I never notice she was this bold before? But being bold is a good thing. I was really worried that if we dated for 1 or 2 years and I still couldn't get a kiss, there would definitely be something wrong with me. After all, my beloved girlfriend lives right next door. The setting and atmosphere are perfect. Who could resist that? So, do you want to switch now? Hearing my teasing, Lin Xingsu shook her head proudly. This person is mine. The milk tea is mine too. I'll drink it whenever I want. After our fun time at the mall ended, we went back to our daily routines. Right before class ended, I received a message from Lin Xingsu. She said she was coming to pick me up for dinner. As soon as the bell rang, I ran straight out of the back door of the classroom. Zhaozu, have you been waiting long? I rushed up and pinched her cheek. No, just for a little while. We stood downstairs chatting for a bit. And coincidentally, a girl who had previously asked for my contact information saw us. She couldn't help but mutter softly. So he really does have a girlfriend. I thought that was just an excuse. They look so good together. Look at how pretty his girlfriend is. As expected, handsome guys always end up with beautiful girls. Lin Xingsu keenly caught the key point. She narrowed her eyes and smiled slyly at me. Confess now, or suffer the consequences. Mr. Feng, I advise you to be honest with me. Her tone made me laugh. I never expected that my girlfriend would turn out to be such a jealous drama queen, a little actress. Lin Xingsu. He flirts around all the time, and you don't even know it. Every class, there's a different girl asking for his WeChat. If we weren't watching him, who knows what he'd be up to? At that moment, Chun Fan walked over and jumped in to throw dirt on me first. I glared at Chun Fan. Are you trying to get famous in our studio? Look, he's panicking. He's even trying to use his boss status to pressure me now. Chun Fan kept talking and even let out a few exaggerated sobs. Get lost. We're leaving. I couldn't be bothered to argue with them. Finally, class was over. Spending time with my girlfriend was way better. I had to make the most of it. Ran has changed. He doesn't even eat with us anymore. Chun Fan sighed as he watched us walk away. I wrapped my arm around Lin Xingsu's waist, telling her what had just happened as we walked. And I promised her I will never give my contact information to any other girl. My Zhaozu is so beautiful. Why would I even look at anyone else? But Zhaozu, hasn't any guy ever asked for your contact info? Yeah, but I turned them all down. I was just teasing you. I wouldn't care about other guys. Lin Xingsu looked up at me, feeling a little embarrassed. Ever since 06 found out I was dating, he sent me a bunch of random books, saying I needed to study in advance. Otherwise, you won't be able to handle it when the time comes. That day, I secretly read a bit in my room. But after just 1 minute, I already felt like I had lost my innocence. And the worst part, Lin even said he personalized it for me. Specifically, he changed the names of the male and female leads to mine and Fang Ran's, so it would feel more immersive. I almost died from embarrassment. Even though I didn't read much, every now and then, some lines still popped into my head. Like, Fang Ran wrapped his arms around her waist. Zhaozu, what's wrong? Why is your face so red? I noticed her cheeks were flushed. Even her earlobes were red. I'm fine. It's just a little hot. I want something cold to drink. I had no idea what was going through her mind. If I had known she wanted to cling to me, I would have gladly satisfied her. Suddenly, Lin Xingsu stopped walking. Her face showed a hint of worry. What's wrong, Zhaozu? I saw her staring anxiously at her phone. My brother is coming. He said my parents are worried. They insisted that he come to check on me. He's already at the airport. Lin Xingsu looked a little anxious. If her brother found out she was dating someone, and that someone was me, he would definitely make her move out. It's okay. Don't worry, I'm here. We'll just go meet your brother for dinner. We'll pretend we're not together. Lin Xingsu nodded, feeling slightly relieved. She then dialed her brother's number. Not long after, she hung up. He said he's taking a taxi here. He told us to find a barbecue place and wait for him. He also said he's going to make you pay. I picked a place with a good atmosphere and quality food. This was different from before. Now, I had stolen his little sister away, kissing and touching her. If I wanted an easier time proposing in the future, I had to make sure her brother was well taken care of. Lin Xingsu sat beside me, looking nervous. She was afraid of slipping up. Zhao Zhu, don't be nervous. Just act normal. If you really feel scared, just talk to your brother more. Ignore me. That way, everything will be fine. I tried to help her relax. After a short while, Lin Fan walked into the private room. The moment Lin Xingsu saw him, she ran over. Her eyes turned red instantly. Seeing her brother after so long, all her emotions came rushing back. Why are you still such a crybaby? You're in college now, still acting like a little kid. Lin Fan was definitely a doting older brother. When she was little, just seeing his tiny, fair-skinned little sister waddling behind him, calling him brother, was enough to melt his heart. HMPH. I'm not a crybaby. Brother, sit down. Look at all the expensive meat I ordered. They're all your favorites. Lin Fan chuckled and said, oh, my son finally knows how to treat his father well. Not bad, not bad. Normally, whenever the two met, they would bicker nonstop. Usually, my comebacks were sharper than anyone else's, but today felt off. I suddenly realized that I was like a firecracker with a damp fuse. Silent. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Of course. Did you do something to betray me? As soon as he said that, both Lin Xingsu and I were startled. I swallowed nervously. How is this guy's sixth sense so accurate? But now was not the time to mess up. Otherwise, Lin Fan, the ultimate siscon, might just throw me straight onto the grill. Brother. A Hanfu clothing store reached out to me a few days ago. They want to collaborate. They even sent me some documents. Can you check if there's anything wrong with them? Lin Xingsu was even more nervous than me. She could barely get her words out. If not for the tablecloth covering her legs, we would have seen them shaking from nervousness. All right, send it to me now. I'll take a look and see if there are any issues. Lin Fan knew his sister was too naive. So, when it came to contracts, it was better if he checked. Lin Xingsu was so nervous that her hands were sweating. But actually, Ling Yu had already reviewed the contract. There was nothing wrong with it. She quickly found her chat history with Ling Yu. Then she forwarded the file. Sent, brother. I haven't received it yet. Zhao Zhu, eat first. Didn't you used to love eating meat the most? Lin Fan grilled some meat, then quickly placed a few pieces into Lin Xingsu's bowl. I watched the two of them interact. Lin Fan took great care of his sister. I was completely unnecessary. Just then, my phone buzzed a few times. I took it out to check. I saw that Lin Xingsu had sent me a file. She must have sent it by mistake. But when I saw the file name, ***, young Master Feng's pampered woman, where can you escape? ***, I was utterly confused. Is this really the kind of content Hanfu stores deal with nowadays? I clicked on it for a quick look, then hurriedly put my phone down. I need to use the restroom. You to go ahead and eat first. I escaped into a bathroom stall. After locking the door, I finally dared to pick up my phone again. I flipped through a few pages, but the content made my heart race. I could barely keep my composure. Taking a deep breath, I quickly exited the document. Shaking my head, I tried to clear my mind of the images lingering there. I had been gone for a while. By now, Lin Xingsu must have realized she sent the wrong file. Knowing her personality, she was probably dying of embarrassment. I never would have guessed that Lin Xingsu liked reading this kind of stuff. And she even changed the male lead's name to mine. How was I supposed to keep my cool after that? Glancing at the time, I splashed some cold water on my face and left. Why did you take so long in the restroom? I already ate all the meat. Lin Fan hinted at something. I glanced at the table. Sure enough, most of the meat was gone, so I ordered a few more plates. While placing the order, I stole a glance at Lin Qingsu. Her face was as red as a tomato. Her gaze darted away, avoiding eye contact. I was sure she had realized it. Right now, Lin Qingsu couldn't even look at me properly. The moment she noticed she sent the wrong file, her mind must have gone completely blank. That exact moment, her brain probably just shut down. Why am I so stupid? I even sent the wrong file to the wrong recipient. My image in my brother's mind must be completely ruined. Zhao, I've reviewed the contract. There's no issue. Thank you, brother. Lin Qingsu tried her best to act as if nothing was wrong. But inside, her heart was racing wildly. That kind of novel? Seriously? And I even changed the names of the main characters. It's all my fault for being too nervous. I accidentally sent it. Now who knows what he thinks of me? He might think I'm completely indecent. Not innocent at all. In the worst case, he might even break up with me. Lin Qingsu was freaking out inside. But with her brother nearby, she couldn't let it show. She didn't even have a chance to explain. Zhao, why do you look so pale? Your face was red just a moment ago. Why does it look so pale now? Lin Fang kept grilling meat for her. Noticing that something was off with the girl, he quickly asked, "Are you okay?" No, my stomach just feels uncomfortable. I just want to go home and sleep." Lin Qingsu's eyes were turning red. Lin Fan immediately realized. His sister had always been weak. At home, Mom would always make her all kinds of awful supplements. Now that she's in college, no one is taking care of her. She must be feeling worse. Come on, let's get you home to rest. Lin Fan stood up immediately. He was going to take Lin Qingsu home. Since I live with her, I naturally know. Her period just ended a few days ago. She's definitely just feeling embarrassed and awkward. That's why she's in such a hurry to go home. But looking at her pale little face, she was really shaken. I'll take Zhao home. Lin Fan, find a hotel nearby. In this situation, I definitely have to go home with her. Otherwise, if she's left to overthink things, maybe I'll be dismissed tomorrow. Alright, take good care of my sister, Zhao. If the pain gets too bad, call me. I helped her into the car. I leaned in and pinched her cheek. Where does it hurt? Why do you look so pale? Lin Qingsu looked at me and started sobbing. Seeing me frown, she quickly covered her mouth with her hand. Afraid of making me upset, my heart ached for her. I held her and gently patted her back. Don't cry, Zhao. Be good. Lin Qingsu leaned against my shoulder. Tears fell in big drops onto my clothes. I am not that kind of girl. It was Yuzi who sent it to me. But I did read a few pages. Crazy brother. Do you not like me anymore? Do you think I'm not good at all? That I'm a bad girl? Lin Qingsu sobbed as she spoke. Her voice was warm yet filled with grievance. In the end, it was all his fault. He brought this upon himself. If only he had been more decisive in rejecting Yuzi. Or if he had deleted the file immediately, right after receiving it, none of this would have happened. And he couldn't even say he was innocent. Last night, he even secretly read the first few pages under his blanket. Now, he was no longer pure. Before I could even speak, Lin Qingsu started crying even harder. She didn't give me a chance to say anything. I don't know how long it lasted. But eventually, Lin Qingsu calmed down. Brother Fan Grand. If you want to break up, I don't want to. And I won't. Silly girl, what are you thinking? I lightly tapped her silly little head. I don't know why this girl is so adorable. She actually thought I would break up with her because of this. But Lin Xingsu looked at me with a confused expression. This is completely normal, Zhao, if you want to experience it. I can accompany you. Looking at the girl, I must have looked like a pervert. I just blurted out what was on my mind. The girl froze for a few seconds without responding. But the temperature in the car kept rising. The atmosphere was getting a bit ambiguous. Hey, let's go home first. Open a window. Let some fresh air in. Once we got home, I sent Lin Fan a message, telling him we arrived safely, so he wouldn't worry. Lin Fan replied quickly, and even sent me several voice messages, all about how to take care of Lin Xingsu. I got it. Don't worry. I promised to take good care of Zhao. Lin Fan, who had just arrived at his hotel, listened to my voice message. He couldn't help but feel that the way I said Zhao sounded natural, and there was even a hint of affection and possessiveness. But he was her real brother. Something felt off. Fangren, I'm telling you, don't you dare have any ideas about my sister. My sister doesn't like guys like you. If you dare mess with her, you're dead meat. I instinctively refuted him. What do you mean she doesn't like guys like me? Zhaoxu's favorite type is obviously me. After sending the message, I suddenly realized what I had just said. So I quickly tried to cover it up. Come on, I'm this handsome. Even if you say I'm every girl's dream, I totally deserve that title. And that naturally includes Zhao. On the other end, Lin Fan still felt something was off, but thinking about how they acted tonight, he figured he was probably overthinking. After all, his sister had really high standards. Even back in high school, when the class genius pursued her, she didn't even react. She only had eyes for dancing. So there was no way she'd be interested in Fangren. He knew his friend too well. He's a rich second generation, has good academic performance, likes cleanliness, has high IQ. Why are all these advantages? Why didn't I notice before? I just casually chatted with Lin Fan for a bit and ended it. After all, the more you say, the more mistakes you make, and I still have serious things to do now. Before long, I saw the girl coming out of the bathroom. Her hair was wrapped in a towel on top of her head. All done, Zhao. Let me dry your hair for you. Don't catch a cold. I picked up the hairdryer. Let the girl sit in front of the dressing table. Of course, brother. About today's matter. Zhao, let me ask you this. If our roles were reversed, would you break up with me just because I read that kind of novel? Lin Xingsu shook her head. She understood that guys generally pay attention to those things. And various kinds of videos, so I'm the same. How could I break up with you because of that? Besides, it's not just guys. Girls have needs too. They should also acknowledge their own needs. Xioxue. Lin Xingsu slightly opened her mouth. Her eyes blinked in confusion. I don't understand, but last night, I was really curious about what was written inside. So, starting from last night, I had needs too. Seeing the girl nodding slightly, half understanding, my gaze flickered. I slowly leaned closer to her. Zhao, do you want brother to teach you? Some time later, I lowered my head, looking at the small figure on the bed. She seemed to curl up shyly. I asked softly, Zhao, do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? Lin Xingsu instinctively nodded, then quickly shook her head. Like a startled little deer, she hid under the blanket. After a long while, she peeked out carefully, revealing a pair of big, round eyes. But when our eyes met, she quickly shrank back under the blanket. Why are you still here? I'm here to apply some medicine for you. Look, your skin is all red. Hearing my words, Lin Xingsu felt both shy and annoyed. Brother Fan, you're so shameless. You actually want to apply the medicine for me yourself. I'll get embarrassed. This is too much. However, she didn't directly refuse me. Instead, she reached out her hand, lightly curled her finger, signaling me to give her the ointment. Seeing her embarrassment, I decided not to tease her anymore. I turned around and left to buy some food for her. Lin Qingsu dawdled in the room for a while. Then she changed her clothes, wrapping herself up tightly. Only then did she step out of the room, looking at the way she dressed. I couldn't help but smile. This little girl, she's actually learning to be wary of me now. But seeing her looking so pitiful, I decided not to tease her for now. Lin Qingsu still seemed to be mad at me. She turned her head away arrogantly. I stood up, gently pulled her into my arms, and patted her little head. Zhao, don't be mad, okay? Are you hungry? The food delivery will be here soon. I ordered you some milk tea and your favorite snail noodles. Lin Qingsu didn't expect me to be so thoughtful. She was surprised that I even noticed her little emotions. She looked up, her eyes sparkling with laughter. Brother Fan, you're so sweet. After saying that, she buried her little head into my chest, rubbing against me softly. Looking at her adorable expression, my heart almost melted. The girl was so well behaved and considerate, yet I was still thinking about teasing her. I even had plans for that. I'm really terrible. We chatted for a while. The food delivery arrived one after another. I set up the food, then turned on the projector. I selected a variety show that Lin Qingsu liked. We ate while watching, enjoying a rare moment of peace. Night fell. Lin Qingsu tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. It felt like my scent was still lingering on the bed. It made her feel a bit restless. After a while, she reached out her hand, quietly picking up her phone from the bedside table. Then she opened a saved file. These files were sent to her by Lin Yu. She picked one of the more mild school romance stories and started reading. However, after just a few pages, the story's content became a bit ambiguous. Lin Qingsu's cheeks started to flush. No. If I keep reading, I really won't be able to sleep. Meanwhile, on my side, I also couldn't sleep. Lying in bed, I instinctively opened that file again. I got absorbed in it. Before I knew it, an hour had passed. I had to admit, this story was really engaging, especially when I started imagining myself as part of it. The next morning, we both woke up with big dark circles under our eyes. I waved at her. Good morning, Zhao. Come here, let me kiss you. Seeing her running over, tilting her head up obediently for a kiss, I gave her a light peck. But something fell off. Huh? Why does it taste a bit sweet? I put on some lipstick. You didn't notice? Lin Qingsu explained with a smile. She had put on light makeup today, so it didn't look too different from usual. I was momentarily stunned. Then I realized I had actually licked lipstick. I curiously asked Zhao, is this lipstick expensive? Lin Qingsu tilted her little head, eyeing me with suspicion. Are you looking down on me just now, brother? I quickly shook my head in denial. Of course not. I was just worried that the lipstick has too many chemicals. I'm afraid you might accidentally swallow some. You just don't want to kiss me, do you? You have to kiss me, Lin Qingsu huffed. Then she stood on tiptoe and kissed me. I couldn't resist her. And since she was offering herself up, how could I refuse? 10 minutes later, Lin Qingsu tried to push me away. Her face was completely flush, and her breathing was a little erratic. I can't breathe. Now, do you dare to mess with me again? I flicked her forehead. Seeing her shake her head, I finally let her go. Lin Qingsu returned to her seat. She sent a message to Lin Yu, telling him her location. Then she started preparing for today's class. After a while, Lin Yu came over with 2 cups of milk tea. Zhao, I brought you milk tea. Try it and see how it tastes. Last class, your weight was a problem, and the teacher called you out for it. If you don't control yourself, you're doomed. Lin Xingsu laughed and took 1 cup. She happily sipped it. I'm so jealous of you. You never gain weight, and you have such a good figure. You're curvy in all the right places. But for me, I don't have anything in the right places at all. Lin Yu leaned in mischievously. She playfully pinched Kingsu's slim waist. Lin Xingsu laughed and dodged. She was naturally ticklish, especially on her sides. See, you're so ticklish. What will you do in the future? Your family won't let you off easy. They'll bully you to death. Lin Yu was a typical person with a mind full of dirty thoughts. Being around him, Lin Xingsu had started to pick up on his bad habits, thinking back to last night. Lin Qingsu's gaze wavered. Lin Yu noticed something was off. Something felt suspicious, so he leaned in closer. Spill it. What did you and your dear Fengren do? How far did you go? Stop teasing me. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you everything. Lin Qingsu really couldn't handle Lin Yu anymore. Besides, the classroom was full of people now. His loud laughter was making everyone stare at them. Hearing her promise, Lin Yu finally backed off. He took a few big sips of his milk tea. As soon as the class bell rang, Lin Yu stretched. His whole body felt exhausted. Why does an hour feel so long? This is pure torture, anyway. Now you can talk, right? Tell me everything. Not a single detail left out. Lin Qingsu told Lin Yu about what happened last night. But she left out a few details. Lin Yu was beyond excited. He never thought he'd end up playing matchmaker. And judging by Lin Qingsu's expression, it was clear she was hiding something. He had to make sure to squeeze the truth out of her later. Otherwise, it would be a waste of all the effort he put into gathering resources. So, where did you stop reading? Want me to find you some more? Ooh, no. Stop sending me all that weird stuff. What if I send it by accident again? Lin Qingsu lowered her head. She had only read the most tame part of what Lin Yu sent. It wasn't at all like he described. Her tolerance for this kind of stuff was still pretty low. My brother and brother Fin ran ... If they're waiting for me at the school gate, I have to go now. As soon as Lin Qingsu got in the car, Lin Fin immediately asked, Zhao, do you have someone you like? Brother, why are you asking this so suddenly? I don't. Lin Qingsu was startled. Why did her brother suddenly ask such a question out of nowhere? Could it be that he knew something? Lin Fan looked at his sister. She was stammering and turning her head away. I saw you checking yourself in the mirror. You never used to care about your looks this much. You've only been here a few days, and you already like someone. Let me tell you something. Don't be fooled by those guys dressing up all nice. Behind the scenes, Lin Qingsu couldn't take it anymore. She quickly interrupted. I don't. And what's wrong with me looking in the mirror? Since when was I never this into my looks? Lin Fan studied his sister. She didn't seem to be lying. This girl still had some sense. After raising her for so many years, there was no way she'd be dumb enough to run off with someone so easily. Listening to their sibling argument, I couldn't even get a word in. But watching Lin Fan drive, I couldn't help but think if he found out I was the one who took Lin Qingsu away, wouldn't he skin me alive? Qingsu, don't hang around with those shady guys. And never stay out all night, got it? Lin Qingsu obediently nodded. She would never stay out all night. She was always at home with brother Fanren. After lecturing Lin Qingsu, Lin Fan turned to me. And you? I sent my sister here so you could take care of her. Make sure you watch over her properly. Qingsu listens to you. She actually pays attention when you talk. His sister was living on her own now. He couldn't always keep an eye on her, so he had to rely on Fanren. Alright, weren't you supposed to show me around? I nodded and started the car. It's a rare reunion, I'll make sure we have a great time today. Wait, let me take this call. Lin Fan answered. It was his roommate calling. I thought we were going next week. Why the change? Alright, I'll head back now. Lin Fan hung up the phone. He looked utterly defeated. Why have I been so unlucky these past few days? I had everything planned out. I just wanted to sneak out and have some fun. But who would have thought? The outdoor sketching trip that was set for next week got moved up. I have to leave tomorrow. The academy rescheduled the trip. I need to hurry back to school and get my supplies. I came all this way just for a barbecue meal. I barely got to enjoy anything. I quickly checked my phone. Then I booked him a flight for 3 hours later. I'll take you to the hotel to grab your stuff first, then drop you off at the airport. I've already booked your ticket. Why are you being so considerate all of a sudden? I've never seen you treat me this generously before. Lin Fan gave me a sly look. It felt like his good buddy was in a rush to get rid of him. I coughed awkwardly. It's not like I even got to treat you to anything. Next time you come, I'll make sure you have a great time. Originally, Lin Fan was fine going to the airport by himself. He told Lin Xingsu to hurry back and study, but when he saw her red, teary eyes, he had no choice but to comfort her. Xingsu, take care of yourself at school. If you run out of money, just let me know. And remember, this is your first time living far from home. You don't know who's good and who's bad. Don't trust people too easily. Especially guys. If you have time during the national holiday, come home for a visit. Mom and Dad really miss you. Lin Fan and Lin Xingsu sat in the backseat, chatting endlessly. Lin Xingsu suddenly felt guilty. When her brother arrived yesterday, she was so worried about getting caught dating brother Fanren that she didn't even think about him. Her brother traveled all this way for her, and she didn't even eat a meal with him. Now he was already rushing back to school, yet he was still worried about her. She wasn't being a good sister at all. Do you still have enough money? I'll transfer some to you. Lin Xingsu couldn't hold it in anymore. Tears streamed down her face. She looked extremely pitiful. No need, brother. What else do I have to cry about? I'm already an adult. Yet I still can't bear to part with you. Besides, if you miss me, just come visit me. Be good. No more crying. He frequently wiped Lin Xingsu's tears. Lin Xingsu sobbed softly. She tried her best to hold back her tears. From the front seat, I looked at the girl through the mirror. My heart ached for her. I had thought about making her cry before, but not like this. Seeing my sister calm down, I gave her a few more reminders. Then I got out of the car to grab my luggage and leave. I couldn't let Lin Xingsu send me off any further. Otherwise, she'd just cry again. And that would make me feel bad too. I'm leaving my sister in your care. Please look after her for me. I only have this one little sister. I've spoiled her since she was a child. She has her own principles and opinions, but she hasn't faced any real hardships yet. I'm just afraid that when she does, she won't know what to do, and she won't tell me. I nodded. Don't worry. You know what kind of person I am. Watching Lin Fan walk away, I let the girl sit in the front passenger seat. Look at you, crying like a little mess. I took a wet tissue and gently wiped Lin Xingsu's tears. She pouted and said, I just feel guilty toward my brother. I didn't spend enough time with him. And last night, I even lied to him. That was your brother. How could he blame you? Next month during National Day, if you miss him, you can go visit him. No more tears. I pulled the girl close, gently wiping the tears from the corners of her eyes. Seeing that she wasn't in the mood for anything else, and that the freshman ceremony was coming up soon, she said she wanted to practice dancing one more time. So I took her to school. Zhao, send me a message after you finish practicing. I came to pick you up for dinner. I got it. Hurry up and make sure the girl enters the school. Only then did I turn around and go to the studio. Soon, the day of the opening ceremony arrived. The audience in the auditorium was filled with freshmen. Just like every year, the senior students always dominated Osaka, and most of them were single. Chun Fan and Zhao Lei, looking at so many fresh new junior girls, were so overwhelmed that their tears almost flowed from their mouths. I have to say, The looks of the girls this year are quite low. That slim waist, those long legs. I wonder which one is my true destined girl. I couldn't be bothered with them. Even the girls on stage performing were unbearable. Before, Zhao never let me watch. During dance practice, there were always many people around. Lin Qingsu didn't let Fang Ran come to pick her up. She said there were too many beauties here. She was afraid that after Fang Ran saw too many, he wouldn't think she was pretty anymore, and that he wouldn't like her anymore. Her voice was filled with strong jealousy. So, I listened to her and never went. That's why I had never seen her dance performance before. Soon, it was time for Lin Qingsu's solo dance performance. I sat in the audience, eagerly waiting for her to appear. The audience started clapping in unison. Without exaggeration, most people were there just to see her. After all, during the military training at the start of school, she had already become well known. Later, the school forums were full of her photos. I had never been exposed to classical dance. Until tonight, I never knew a girl could be this beautiful. But modern dance is different. Her body was so flexible. Her movements were grand. She wore a light gauzy outfit that didn't reveal too much. Yet people couldn't take their eyes off her. Lin Qingsu once said, "The biggest feature of classical dance is the combination of body and charm, mind and spirit in harmony." Back then, I didn't understand. Now, I do. Seeing it with my own eyes, it was truly a beauty that felt unreal. When the music stopped, the auditorium erupted in thunderous applause. Perhaps many people couldn't see the girl's face clearly, but her dance moves were etched into everyone's memory. It turns out that classical dance can also be this breathtaking. Ping Fan patted Zhao Lei's shoulder hard, showing his excitement. Qingsu is absolutely amazing. Even though I don't understand dance, this performance went straight to my heart. I ignored them, taking advantage of the host speaking. I quickly slipped out through the back door. The girl was already waiting for me there. "Brother Fang Ran, how was my dance just now?" Lin Qingsu didn't feel nervous while dancing, because she was completely immersed in it. But as soon as the music stopped, she suddenly realized she was sweating. I handed the flowers in my hand to her. "It was beautiful. You are the most beautiful dancer I have ever seen." My voice was gentle. My tone was slow, making Lin Qingsu's heart tremble. She couldn't help but stand on tiptoe and gave me a quick peck on the cheek. "I say nice things just to make you happy, and this is all the reward I get." Seeing the heat in my gaze, Lin Qingsu's pretty face blushed uncontrollably. Then. What kind of reward does brother want?